everyone, this is Lisa. Welcome to part one of my two-part tutorial on how to design custom tattoos in Paint Tool Side. Now, real quick, I have to do a quick shout out. My friend Adrienne is turning 20 today. Happy birthday, girlie. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Wait. Okay, you know what? Just ignore the last part. Happy birthday. Um, this is a sketch that I'm going to be working off of. I drew this out, I think, about 8 months ago. This is before I got the tablet. I first saw this when I was 17, and I've wanted it ever since. Now, if you've seen Ghost Adventures, you should recognize this. I'm going to be editing it a bit. As you can see here, I tried to make it look a little bit more three-dimensional and put a banner around it. The quote that's in the banner is actually a line from Chapter 11 of Bram Stoker's Dracula. If you haven't read it yet, go read it. Drop the Twilight crap, go pick up a copy of Dracula, or the Vampire Chronicles is another good one. So, I got my little layers set up over here, and I'm doing each color in a different layer, so if I mess up on one, I don't have to worry about erasing the others. Now, the coloring is going to take a while, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stop recording for right now. I'm going to go take care of the coloring, and I will be back momentarily. And I'm back. A couple things I should have mentioned before. First, you need to figure out what your light source is and where it's going to be. Now, I don't normally draw my light source in, but for reference purposes, I did it this time. The text I edited in GIMP Shop, I got the font itself from DaFont, but played around with it in GIMP for a little bit and tried my hardest to get rid of all the little pixelated white bits around there. Got most of it, but when it's done, the background's going to be white, the banner's going to be white, and no one's going to notice, I don't think. So, like everyone else, I do my smudging with the water brush tool. So, I'm actually going to try to describe to you how I use it. I'm not saying this is the right way, this is just how I do it. The first thing I do is I go back and forth really quick over the edge, and then with a very light hand, I stroke in the other direction. And this is coming out sounding way more perverted than I had intended. Alright. So, erase the background a little bit just to see how it's coming along, see how it would look. Now, if you need any inspiration as far as tattoos go, there are tattoo magazines all over the place, there are tattoo websites. A friend of mine named Pablo actually did a couple of these right here. The two on the top he did. The monkey he did for me, that's everything with a star next to it. Those are mine. I actually have another one, but I hear enough Invader Zim stuff as is. So, anyway, taking a closer look at some of the line art, you can tell it's thicker in some places and thinner in others depending on what it is. And the Murder Dolls one, the one that was at the bottom, is just kind of blocky, and I'm still a little irritated with the tattoo artist who did that one because he kind of messed it up. So, yeah. Now, as far as doing the darker colors of shading, I've read some people say that they do it all on one layer, and I don't know why I can't. I prefer to do each different shade in a different layer. So what I do is I create a new layer. You can see this in a minute. I create a new layer, and then I click the little clipping group, and helps me not go outside the lines so much. So this This is going to take a while as well. I'm not just going to drop again. This time I'm just going to fast forward through it a little bit. Make it more like, I guess, a speed paint. Okay, so while we're fast forwarding through that, little bit of vampire trivia. The mythos considering the vampire's inability to go out into the sun is only 80 some odd years old. In the original Dracula, the Count was able to walk around in broad daylight, something that was kept in the story when Francis Ford Coppola made his 1992 adaptation. The beginning of this film takes a small page from the quote-unquote real Dracula, Vlad Tepes, also known as Vlad the Impaler, a Transylvanian prince who was known for his sadistic treatment of anyone that displeased him. In that part of the world, though, he's seen as a national hero due to his defeat of the Hungarians, who were seen as the enemies of Transylvania. So much so, in fact, that the Transylvanians were reportedly very angry at Bela Lugosi, an actor of Hungarian descent, portraying a character with the exact same name as our national hero. Now, Nosferatu, the film that created the anti-sunlight myth, was almost completely destroyed. Bram Stoker's widow was alive during the time that Nosferatu was made, and apparently wasn't too happy with it. Depending on who you talk to, they either asked for permission, was denied, and went and made it anyway, or they didn't even bother asking and just hoped that they wouldn't get caught. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's basically Dracula with changed characters' names. She reportedly requested that every copy of the film be destroyed, and it's by sheer fucking luck that a copy survived. Despite it being a very blatant ripoff, it's still a pretty good film. I mean, in my opinion, Max Schreck did a great job playing the character. Now, as much as I love the classics, Bela Lugosi's awesome. In my opinion, Gary Oldman will always be Dracula, no matter how many times he shows up in Harry Potter. The character is so important in vampire lore that in the RPG Vampire the Masquerade, there is a full tribe called Nosferatu, and they all hold the same appearance as their namesake. Alright, it's about time to end part one, but before I go, I want to show you one quick little last minute thing. Now, in Paint Tool Sci, they have a layer mode called Luminosity, and if you're doing things that are metallic, like with the cross here, or anything with a high shine, it's great. I cannot even say enough good things about it. I love that feature. So, how I get the little shine at the ends, I take the marker tool, take kind of a medium pink color, and scribble around a little bit where I feel it could use some shine, and then smudge it out with the blur tool. And that concludes part one of my little tutorial on Paint Tool Sci. Hope you liked it. Hope you learned something from it. If you want to like me on Facebook or follow me on Twitter, here's my info. So please like, comment. I can take constructive criticism. That's great. Just don't be a dick about it. Anyway, this is Lisa, and I will see you next time. Bye.